putting in the hours. Like aside from time managing the hours, then it's putting in the hours. It's being prepared to like lose sleep over it. Right. Just work nonstop, like work even past what you need to work on, you know? And then 3 is like just managing the relationships of the characters in the story. Man, I think, you know, making sure that the story that's on paper, because that's your guide when you're making a film, is the paper, is the script, making sure that that reflects truly what you want to do. You know, really making sure that you take the time to carefully craft the story on paper before you are communicating this vision to your team. Like before you even tell your team the vision, make sure the vision is clear to you, and that is hard.
Bullshit movies.
Throwaway
bro
movies.
What are the Failure to Launch, How to Get a Man in like 10 days or 9 days or something like that. Yeah, Matthew McConaughey, baby. All right. Oh yeah, Fool's Gold. That was a pretty cool movie though.
That's actually a good movie though.
Yeah, that was pretty cool movie.
And honestly, Matthew McConaughey is one of the coolest people.
Dude, he's so fucking chilling.
He's too cool. Like
he just parties too. He's a gangster.
Honestly, my girl tells me, she's like, dude, if he ever showed up at my doorstep, like, I'm leaving you. And I'm like, I respect
if you
that.
fucking don't, I'm leaving you. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing at this point?
Bro, I will shake his hand. Like, just get out of here.
Please.
Just get out of here.
Would you like me to leave? Would you like me to leave?
Ladies and gentlemen, how are ya doing? It's your motherfucking boy, Gamero, the Pharaoh, the poor man's Robert De Niro. You know what I'm saying? The bald version, baby. That's Dollar Tree. How you doing? How's life? I mean, yo, well, you gotta laugh like that. That was a very thing. I appreciate that. How's life? How's the world treating you today? Ladies and gentlemen, it's another beautiful, beautiful day at midnight in Miami studios, and we are also very ecstatic to bring another story, another climax, another artiste today. You know what I'm talking about? And before we get to the man of the hour, you know what I'm talking about. There are introductions at hand that need to be done. Ladies and gentlemen, to my right-hand side, we have a man, a traveling man. You know what I'm talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a speaker. You know what I'm talking about. This man right here, he'll tell you a bunch of stories, you know, about the life on the road. You know what I'm talking about. You may see him in the airport. You may see him in the train station, bro. You may see him at the Capitol building. You know what I'm saying? You never know where he's going to be. What? You know, you never know.
You can't say
you
that
never
shit
know.
nowadays,
Hey, you
bro.
never
You know
know, bro. Hey, bro.
I didn't storm the Capitol building. FBI, don't look at me.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Ladies and gentlemen, to my right-hand side, we have Emi in his house. What's going on?
Not in the Capitol building.
Not in the Capitol
I've
building.
Not been in DC in
allegedly,
like 2 years. So.
Allegedly. Let's see those receipts. Ladies and gentlemen, behind the camera, you know what I'm talking about. We got a man right here. This man right here, he's wearing blue shorts. You know what I'm talking about. This man right here, he's got a multicolored black shirt on as well. You know what I'm talking about. I'm describing this man right here, but you see him on the GoPro as well. You know, this man's a star. You know, right here, this man could be the lead for Hamilton, and you don't even know it. You know what I'm talking about? Right there. Ladies and gentlemen, behind the cameras, keeping us afloat, we have Ignacio in his house. What's going on? Tell something to the people. I want them to hear your voice.
Yo.
Yeah, let me hear that. Yo, let me hear that. I want something. Hit us with that reflective yo.
Yo.
Beautiful. The man's a poet. God, I love it. And ladies and gentlemen, how do I even put into words our guest today? I am also very ecstatic to introduce this man today. You know what I'm talking about? This man right here, this man's an artiste. You know what I'm talking about? This man is an artistic conglomerate. You know what I'm talking about? This man is not only an actor, a director, this man is a molder of young minds. You know what I'm talking about? This man is a molder of America's youth. You know what I'm talking about? Ladies and gentlemen, one of the artistic powerhouses of the South Miami scene. Ladies and gentlemen, we have JC Gutierrez in his house. What's going on?
Dude, thank you for having me, man.
I need a break.
That was
All
an
right, cut.
incredible
Stop the cameras. No.
Where's makeup? He needs a little.
Yeah, bro, I need a little
right?
pampering. I know, JC, thank you so much for coming today. Thank you. Thank
Dude,
you.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Thank
Your
you.
introduction is impeccable.
I
amazing.
try. I'm gonna make a compilation of the introduction compliments, bro.
That's a good.
Just for my you know what I'm saying.
For the real.
Yeah, for the real, exactly. We were talking about reels right
Yeah.
before. JC, we got a chance to view half of your film right before we had technical difficulties.
True.
But we did, actually get a chance to watch it beforehand. Before we get into, everything that went into making such a poignant film, such a detailed film, talk to me what it was like. We kind of briefly spoke about before we started shooting what it was like to shoot mid-pandemic, mid-pandy, mid-full-blown pandy.
Well, it was a time where everyone was like at home, doing like very little, honestly. Being stuck at home sucks. And, it's a good time to, I guess, work on that art that you've been putting off for a while. And this film, I actually made it before. I made it like for a film festival at school, and it was like a learning thing. So we did it with a bunch of people who, including myself, had never really made films before. So it kind of was like the first attempt at it. And during the pandemic, I was getting together with my friends, and we were talking, we were rewatching and we were kind of like, dude, I don't know, I feel like we should do this film again because the story needs to be told, but on a bigger scale, like with more production value, with more experience that we have now. And so we were like, why don't we just do it again, man? Let's just do it again.
What was it about you that wanted to revisit, a prior project as opposed to starting anew?
That's a good question. I think the main thing for me was that the story is personal.
Okay.
Like, this is a film, I think, in one word, about death, about denial.
Right.
And I've experienced that in my life very personally. And so the story is so important for me that I felt like I can't move on to another story until I've told this one and I feel completely satisfied with it. And I wasn't fully satisfied with it yet, so I wanted to give it a shot.
And as an artist, are you ever fully satisfied?
No, dude. We were watching it right now, and I was like, it's like I'm proud of the film, obviously.
Hell
but
yeah.
there's always things where you watch it and you're like, okay, now I know what to do next time. Even though next time you're still not going to be satisfied.
Right.
But I think that's what makes it amazing to be an artist and to have to go through that, because every time that you make something, then you're expecting more of yourself the next time. So you're always raising the bar. I think that's the goal, really. To never be satisfied.
Bro, amen right there.
Yeah.
What were some of the things that you felt were not up to your standards in the original project?
Dude, big thing for me was sound. I think like sound was super amateur because we were working with a boom mic that was like not really set up properly. It was raining that day, and like that interfered with the sound a lot, and just it was literally clipping, like popping, and the sound was just awfully amateur. I even submitted it to a film festival, and they immediately rejected me and told me like your sound is amateur. So
Shit.
Bro, they went and they actually told you the reason as to why they rejected you?
well, they talk about like in the rejection letter many of the reasons that films get rejected, and they're like sometimes amateur sound quality, sometimes like poor lighting, sometimes this and that. I'm like, okay, I check off poor sound quality on mine for sure. Like poor sound quality, and then poor set design. We just didn't think about it enough. We didn't plan enough, and then the story itself, like writing wise, was just kind of all over the place. I don't think it had like a good through line or like a good arc necessarily.
Okay.
So there's a lot of stuff. And I think like the story itself, I think is an interesting story. It comes a little surprise in it, and you watch it and you're like, oh, okay, like this is interesting. But it needed more. It needed more effort. We put a lot more effort into the second time.
You can tell the amount of effort that was put into the production value. You can tell that you guys definitely used extremely high quality equipment.
And that's super important, dude. Like that really makes the difference of like a really amateur looking film and then like just a more, well produced film is the sound quality. Like it's just such a huge difference.
What would you say, in retrospect, is one of or top 3 most difficult, most demanding things when making a film?
Time management is
Respect.
of the essence. I think time is completely against you when making a film, whether it's because of the daylight, because of the people that are on set working on a film for you, So knowing how to be able to manage your time, being prepared, having a good schedule is definitely number one. Number two is I guess I don't know, like putting in the hours. Like aside from time managing the hours, then it's putting in the hours. It's being prepared to like lose sleep over it. Just work nonstop, like work even past what you need to work on, you know. And then three is like just managing the relationships of the characters in the story, man. I think, you know, making sure that the story that's on paper, because that's your guide when you're making a film, is the paper, is the script. Making sure that that reflects truly what you want to do. You know, really making sure that you take the time to carefully craft the story on paper before you are communicating this vision to your team. Like before you even tell your team the vision, make sure the vision is clear to you, and that is hard.
You guys, yeah, you guys definitely set a tone and a mood in the film, which I think is a very difficult thing to do, to actually be able to grab the audience like that and be able to place them. I felt like I was in the house.
I'm so glad you think so, man. That's awesome.
I really do. I mean, that was my personal experience. What was the? Did you write it as well?
Yeah, I wrote it. Yeah.
What was the experience like that? Like, I mean, what is the root of the story? Where does it come from?
So yeah, my mom passed away when I was 19 years old, and me and her had a really close relationship, and also a tumultuous one, as we do with our parents, you know.
Right.
And she passed away when I was 19, and I was in such a deep state of denial that I would have like, first of all, I had nightmares that she would like come back to life. You know, but she was like a corpse because she was dead. So she's like, she comes back to life and she like walks into my room as like a corpse and she's alive. And I'd have those nightmares like every night. And then sometimes I would be in my room, like thinking about it. And I was in such a deep state of denial that I literally thought she would like knock on the door and be like, hey, I was kidding. I'm alive. You know, like literally like be like, it's a joke. I faked it. Like,
right.
Because I was so like, this is not possible that I was with this person. I spoke to this person a day ago and then now they're gone. Like I knew she was sick. I knew that maybe she didn't have a lot of life left, but just like disappear on me like that. I was like, there's no way. So I really wanted her to be alive really bad. Obviously everyone does who's lost a loved one, but I wanted to write a story about that denial, you know, that deep state of like, this is not happening. This person is not dead. So I think the character in the story is experiencing some of that, some of what I experienced. And that to me is what carries the story is his denial and his like, this can't be possible that she's dead. So I'm gonna literally like make her alive. You know?
Right.
And I just want to briefly mention personally what a phenomenal job I felt that the lead did in truly being able to encompass such minimal details, facial expressions, be able to portray an arc and a whole message besides the words. You know, you could tell a story just based off of his facial expressions and his reactions to what's going on. So,
bro, shout out to AJ.
Big shout out.
An incredible artist, an incredible human being who also like is the person that watched the old version of the film with me and told me, dude, this story is important to you. I'm down to make it again with you if you're down to make it again. And I think you should.
Oh, he wasn't in the first one?
He was.
Okay.
But we were watching it together and like his performance was really good in the first one too. It was funnier. Like he was more comedic about it in the first one. But we got together and we kind of rehearsed so much and figured out how to make this character actually relatable and realistic and more subtle. Like you said, like the details and stuff, like this person could actually exist in real life. Like, this person could be your neighbor. This person could be walking around in the grocery store. We wanted that character to be more like that so that when you watch the film, perhaps you feel like you're with him. You feel like you're in the room with him or having dinner with him or like experiencing what he's experiencing in a way.
Right. And I thought he also was very clever in the way that he delivered the comedic relief, certain lines like, is it cold? Things like that, the witty writing,
And funny enough, like something happened when we filmed it the first time, which was that during the dinner scene, he's an improviser, not really like he doesn't do improv, but when he's acting, a lot of the stuff he does like just is improvised.
Okay.
And even on camera. So when he was eating with her, like I just asked him to just go off, just do something. We had the camera on him, and I'm like, just do something. And he's, chopping up his meat, and he's like, who made that? He does that line.
Which was hilarious.
Yeah.
And that just happened. He made that up. I didn't write that in the script. And that happened the first time we filmed it. And so for the second time, I was like, dude, you have to say that line again. Because it was really funny. And it's something that everyone always laughed at when they saw the film. So I was like, you have to say that line again. So I think he is a person that definitely handles comedy really well, even if it's subtle. I think that's the reason I will continue working with him, and that I chose to work with him, is that he handles comedy so well. And this character needed just the right amount of comedy to where you can relate to him, like him.
Yes, for sure.
But also kind of be unsure if he's a serial killer.
Right, for sure. Also, very big props. I don't know who did it, but sound editing. Props to that.
That's my boy Jacob, also a musician, Brave Castle, and an incredible sound man. He was our boom guy. He was the sound editor, and he edited the film.
Well, definitely big props on the way he was able to establish a sense of eeriness with the sounds that he used, especially with the quick pans, especially when she's frozen and then she's going back to normal. The very like the borderline synth like sounds that he used.
Yeah,
if it
he's a master on the synth. I think he really all the sound in the film is him. Everything.
Wow.
And since he was literally boom and he was holding the mic on set, he was able to pick up the little sounds. He knew how close to get to the fork and the knife. He knew that we needed to pick up on the chewing, and he was able to put that all together, and then also use his synth machine to come up with those really eerie, weird sounds that happen in the film while the undertone is going up.
Knocked it out of the ballpark.
Thank you, man. Yeah, he's awesome.
What was the for this particular project the most demanding part of it?
Bro, that's an easy question to answer because my whole team would agree. We did not sleep because we had the house for 3 days.
So this was a rental?
It was actually my cinematographer's brother's house. Shout out to him for letting us use it.
Big
Joey
shout out.
Stearns. Thank you. But we only had it for 3 days because they were showing the house. They were selling it. It was an empty house.
Oh, okay.
Which
Perfect.
made it perfect. Yes. Exactly. So we were like,
so you just
perfect.
decked out the whole Christmas theme?
The whole thing, and that's Nora, AJ's wife. She's the set designer, and we worked together on how to make this the Christmas vibe and all this stuff. And so we spent 3 days there, 3 days and 2 nights, I think, or maybe 3 nights. I don't remember at this point. It's blurry because we literally did not sleep. We'd be up until 5 a.m. shooting, and then we'd get up at 10 to go again.
God.
And we were up really late and we were tired. And I think because we weren't I underestimated how ready I was because I'm like, oh, I made the film already. I just have to do it again.
Follow blueprint. Yeah.
Yeah. No, because so many things changed. And like I said, with film, time management is of the essence.
Right.
And we didn't have our time managed properly. I didn't have the time managed properly. And I went into it thinking, oh, it'll be a piece of cake. Bro, so many things changed. So many decisions happened on the spot that things took longer than I thought they would. So we were up till 5, 6 in the morning and everyone's exhausted and we're all still having to give 100%. And that was the most demanding part of this film,
That's when you need that annoying ass PA talking about, oh, we're an hour late, let's go, you know?
And the thing is that for this one, I didn't have a PA.
Well, there you go.
And that would have helped a lot because like I told you guys before we started, everyone was kind of doubling up on their roles. We had my girlfriend, the actress in the film, also doing makeup.
Big shout out girlfriend,
Yeah, dude, she
Saved
saves
you
my
right
life,
there.
also keeping me sane throughout the whole process. And then we had the girl who plays the dead body, AJ's wife, also doing set design. And then me, I'm writer, director, producer, PA, doing all the things, wearing all the hats. And,
Right.
Having to time manage myself and telling myself, okay, I have to do this in an hour. I have to do this in an hour. And then all of a sudden it's 3 hours later and I'm like, I still haven't done this. Shit. But thank God I'm working with my friends because they're champs. They're like, dude, however long it takes. They're making me feel like I'm here to work with you. I'm here to do it. I'm not they're not on the clock,
Of course.
They're not clocking in and out. They want to do this as a passion project for them too. And they're doing it for me
They believe in it and they believe in you.
Exactly. And I thank them for that because without that, I wouldn't have done it again. I wouldn't have been able to do it.
God, that's beautiful. That reminds me of a couple years back. I did I don't know if you've heard of it, but down here they have a 48-hour film project.
Bro, I heard about that, man.
Bro, shit's hectic.
That's intense.
That's sponsored by cocaine. You know what I'm talking about? Like
I know.
straight up, like
Yeah.
like
serious,
that's
man.
what it is.
So
Because
were you acting in it, or were you were?
I
just
mean,
a
like
team
you,
doing
like you.
everything.
No, I mean, all the
Yeah.
hats, directing, craft services. I mean, fucking, you know, like,
Right.
fucking. And the way that it works is that, or at the time, and we were a team. Oh, we were very young, very naive, and our team name was Cash Money Business, but spelled business though. Make no mistake.
Nice.
Yeah. Respect.
How old were you when you did
Shout
that?
out to the South Miami educational system.
Yes, sir. Ronald Reagan. There you go. I was like 19 or 20. You know, you can't blame me. I was a young chap.
feel that,
A young
man.
chap, big dreams. You know what I'm saying? And we still made it. We still made it. You go at this location, which was a bar at the time, of course, and they give you three things, which are a prop that you have to use in the film, and these are all. The reason for this is to show that you haven't pre-made the film.
Right.
You know,
Oh, right.
a prop that you have to include in the film, a character name, if I'm not mistaken, that you have to include in the film,
And then a line, right?
and line. But the biggest one is that they give you your genre.
They give it to you.
So it's like, bitch, you're making a horror film today, like, you know,
Whether you like it or
whether
not.
you like it or not, like,
Come up with something.
yeah, you're like
In
you
48
gets a different
hours.
genre.
right. The one I always wanted was mockumentary because you do The Office, like,
Fuck
that's
around.
fucking amazing,
Yeah.
like,
And you didn't get it.
No, we got horror. Which is hard, dude.
Oh,
and
dude, yeah.
I honestly, like, respect. It was called -5. And the whole thing of it is that we broke into an abandoned what are those called? Insane asylum.
Oh, the asylum. Like, is that the one nearby? Like
Yes,
on Chrome or
yes,
whatever?
yes.
Dude.
We broke into
That's so
into
creepy,
that
man.
creepy as fuck, but the setting was phenomenal. And the whole thing was that there was like an entity, mind you, it's a short film that you make in 48 hours,
How short?
like 5 or 10 minutes. I'm not.
And you write it.
You
come
write
up
it,
with it, like
shoot it, edit it,
in 48
score
hours.
it in 48 hours.
Ridiculous.
Dude, and like people are legit dropping off the film and still editing as the clock is running out. It's crazy.
It's actually insane. Yeah.
People are running
Are you
off.
allowed to use like music, like actual copy?
You can
copy
pretty much
Yeah,
do
yeah.
whatever-
You
oh,
can
well,
do.
well,
I mean, if
copyright
it
music, I
gets
don't know.
because the winner gets taken to cons, if I'm
Oh,
not
so you
mistaken.
can't use copywritten music.
At that point, you would have to change it,
Right.
If it gets accepted, to that
Right.
point.
Damn,
Which
but you go to con. I mean, that's.
I mean, it's
that's fast track to
huge.
cons.
Great opportunity. Yeah.
But you definitely, just like that, in that sense, you are not sleeping, man. Like you are.
Right.
You think you can organize, you can plan as much as you want, but it's just
Is there, like, a
organized.
budget? Are you
It's
limited
organized
to-
chaos to a certain degree.
Like, are you limited to a budget or?
Okay, budget. I mean, you're. No. I mean,
no,
if you
the
want
only limit
if
they
you
give
want to
you is
spend
the
$1 million,
time,
if you want to spend $1 million, you can.
Right, yeah.
But
But that's what I'm saying. Like, because I'm assuming there's some people that. I mean, that's a fast track to cons. You know. So
Right.
There's some people that are going with a little bit of a
There's-
budget to hire an editor. Or some
yeah,
shit,
there's
you
some
know?
people that do some crazy shit, and there's some people that are very clever with how they use the prop or whatever. Like one of the props I remember was a French fry, and like.
They were just eating fries.
No, no. They made the center of the film about French fries and about how like these two people were like fighting to the death over the last pack of French fries or whatever. And like
Gang
some people
shit.
are clever about it, you know.
That's what
Some-
would happen in this country if they close McDonald's
Oh,
down, bro.
amen.
That would be real life
Amen.
right there, baby.
But speaking of, it reminds me 48-hour film project. We should do that shit together. That'd be a blast, dude. That'd be a blast.
And I
you know
think
what I'm
That's
saying?
horrible.
one of the hard parts about that festival is, well, it is horrible, first of all, like, because I remember not sleeping for 3 days straight and doing this film. At least I'm passionate about it with people that I love. But one of the hard things about 48 is that you can show up with a team, and many people do. Like, your team shows up, and then you get the genre, and then you go and work on it as a team. But some people show up straight up, like, by themselves or them and another person,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
look for people at the festival to work with. So it's people you've never met before, you've never worked with before, and you have 48 hours.
That seems dumb, though.
But I will
Why-
say-
why?
Right?
You know,
But-
you're setting yourself up for failure. At that
But
point.
okay, but I will say, my mistake when I did the 48-hour, dude, it was like Avengers Endgame. I called up everybody I knew. I was like,
Right.
guys,
I feel like that's how
rise
you would
up.
do it.
Yes, but you have to do that after the writing process because that was my mistake.
You're trying to write with, like,
With
everybody.
72 people in there, and they're like, "Hey, throw a fucking robot in there, bro!" Like I'm like, guy, like
yeah.
we have to do this
here.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you need to have like
robot.
one actor, an editor that's gonna help you, and then someone that's gonna just run media
Right,
bullshit for
right.
you, and then sit down and write.
And
Well,
someone that's
yeah.
gonna like grab you by the face and be like, take a fucking nap.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you need to go for there. You need to
Yeah.
go for there. The PA, I guess.
Yeah.
Right,
You
right,
need,
right,
you need
right,
the
right.
PA there.
Yeah.
You need one central actor that you can trust that has the chops.
Right.
And then like an editor that,
Hell yeah.
while you're trying to do all this
Overtime.
shit, they're
Oof.
fucking running it. But
The-
you're right though, because
the weight of
I
Kim
would call
Possible,
everybody too
you
and
know?
then be like, yo, what the fuck?
Right.
You know, we're in a church. There's 72 fucking people in the background now. I don't know what to do with the rest of you.
Yeah, and I mean, like, well, that's why I actually think that filmmakers, especially like amateur young filmmakers like myself, should approach films from the standpoint of the 48 without the 48 hours. Like, take as long as you need to make the 48-hour film festival, but try to do the film with minimal resources. Like you said, one actor you really trust, an editor you really trust, the PA that is also the girlfriend and doubles as the like do it with
Right.
a few people that you really trust and make it really short and make it really simple. No robots, none of that stuff. Because
That's
then
just
you
wild.
can, yeah.
like,
Because
bro.
then you can really put all your energy and attention into those few aspects of your film and those few people. And I think you can really make some quality stuff. Like, there's filmmakers that get really ambitious, and I think that's awesome. You know, to shoot for the moon.
Right.
But you're probably gonna land amongst the stars, if not on your ass.
Amen.
So
Right.
So you can shoot for the moon, but I think you need to be smart about it. I think you need to know what your resources are and start small. If you're literally small, I'm small, like as a filmmaker, like start small. You know, do something that's manageable for you.
There's nothing worse than cheap, corny visual effects. You know, like, come on.
Dude,
You're like, oh.
nobody's gonna watch that. No, it's not gonna get accepted to film festivals. Like
Right.
it's more difficult too. Like it could be a passion project for you, and maybe you love sci-fi, but it becomes more difficult
Right.
to promote that, to make that realistic. You know, it's not
Especially
on a
nowadays
budget.
when the graphics are so fucking
Dude, you're
clean.
competing with
You're
fucking
shooting
$1 million
yourself in the foot.
like budgets.
Yeah, exactly.
bro.
like you're
shoot
competing with
yourself in the
Avengers. Like you're not gonna make an Avengers on a
Never.
$1,000 budget.
You're not. You're just not.
It's
Like,
not gonna
And it
happen.
sucks, right? But
It
I mean, that's
sucks.
the reality we live in.
Exactly.
Every time you see CGI, you compare it to anything you've seen in Marvel. You compare
Right.
it to anything
Right.
you've seen in the new Star Wars.
Yeah.
Anything
Well,
you know?
actually, and that's what sucks actually about watching old movies now for me. Like, for example, the other day I was trying to watch Blade Runner, which it's still pretty damn good.
it holds up. It holds up or
It
no?
holds up. It holds up. But, dude, like, man, I've seen so many amazing sci-fi movies now.
Right.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, I've seen
not
the
even
new
a
Blade
huge-
Runner. You know?
right?
We don't have to
It's
go
like,
that far.
How do you? I don't know, man. Like, if I saw it in 1980, then maybe
Blow
I
your
would have
fucking
been like,
mind.
Oh.
what the?
Blow your fucking mind.
I always think about that. I was like, I'll be watching fucking X-Men or Avengers. I'll be like, imagine if I could grab this film and take it to the 80s. They would think I'm a witch.
An alien.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
like,
like,
you're
you'd be
not
burned to
real.
stake,
yeah,
for sure.
for
You're not
sure.
real.
For sure.
Like,
Yeah, no, I mean, if they knew what we could do now, I mean, but one movie that stands up, for example, is like Back to the Future. I actually love Back to the Future.
it does. It does.
But I
hold
think
up.
it's like, it's just a nice movie. You know, it's like a feel-good movie. So I ignore the really shitty effects that they use.
Right,
You know, that,
right,
that
right.
don't stand up to like Avengers.
But I
stuff.
think that's what's interesting about the 80s. The way that they made their movies was, this is the best we have to offer right now. But the way that they played it out was, I don't give a fuck if they get better.
Right. And look at the quality of the stories.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Like, we're still
They
we're
cared
here
more
to do this
about,
thing.
you know, we're going to tell
Exactly.
the story. Like, I get it. You don't believe that there's actually an alien standing there. But you know what? The story's good and you're going to like it. And you're
Exactly.
going to watch it and it's going to
You're going to
be a
choose to
classic.
believe that he's standing there. Yeah.
Right, exactly. You're going to suspend your disbelief. which
Exactly.
is- Now we don't have to do that. Cause
Emmy had you don't, you really don't. Emmy had mentioned something briefly that I wanted to ask you as far as royalties. The Christmas music they use, is that royalty free? Is that gonna and
yeah, that's a good question because I originally wanted to use When You're Smiling by Louis Armstrong, I think. And like that to me was like such a great song. And like, when you're smiling, like, I don't know. And like, I used it. It was awesome. I'm like, great, awesome. But then I realized like, if I want to submit this to the major festivals, they're not going to take it. I can't pay like Louis Armstrong's company
shout out Louis Armstrong.
$1,000, you know? So I'm going to have to find another way to do this. My boy was like, oh, I'll write something. But my boy, the sound editor, like he has a certain style that he does. And I was like, I literally need fucking jingle bells out here, bro. I need it to be happy time right now. I
Right.
need like something very
You gotta put
Christmassy and
some
happy.
trap music out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't this shit make it.
While he's like cooking a burger. And I'm like, no, calm down. I need like some jazzy, like upbeat shit. So we literally just found like some Jingle Bells cover, you know, and,
Very
and
cool.
that Jingle Bells is actually public domain. So
Oh, cool, very cool.
Any version,
That's what I was
of-
thinking.
any version of Jingle Bells is just free to use for anything. So
Yeah, that's
and
very
they
cool,
Were like,
very
they
cool.
told me Jingle Bells, and I was like, Jingle Bells, guys, like the most basic Christmas song, and they were like, dude, you don't have a choice.
It's free, bro.
It's free,
So
baby.
I was like,
It's in the budget, you know, like.
so we put it in there, and it worked. You know, it worked because
It definitely worked.
I tried to make the beginning of the film brighter and more upbeat than the end.
I thought it did a great job in establishing the scene and the setting. I really did.
I'm glad. I still watch it and I'm like, shit, man, I wish I could have used Louis' song, you know, but
Is
that's
that
for
why
when
you
I,
chose the Christmas vibe because you chose Jingle
Well,
Bells, or you already had the Christmas vibe?
Good question.
Very good question.
My mom died on Christmas Day. So
okay.
for me, like,
Oof.
I've always...
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. I've always, like, on Christmas, I still get happy. I still, you know, get gifts, give gifts, and it's still a happy time for me. But I've always thought about, on Christmas Day, obviously, that situation. And then just kind of, I thought about how many other people in the world have a sad day on Christmas. You know, Christmas, the happiest day of the year, contrasted with something so morbid and sad. I think there's something beautiful in the contradiction and something fascinating in the contradiction.
I agree.
I wanted to, like, show that in the movie, like, show you how happy Christmas can be and how happy he is having his Christmas dinner, you know, with this horrible situation that he's experiencing. And I think the movie is supposed to give you some bit of happiness and some bit of Christmas vibe, but also some bit of, like, sadness, like, deep concern too. So I knew that contrasting, like, the Christmas vibe of Jingle Bells and the lights and all that stuff with, like, the dead body would be a nice contrast, or I hoped that it would be.
And it definitely was.
Yeah. Thank you.
Was the original plan for this to be an homage and a tribute to your mother, or did you have the idea of submitting it to festivals already?
So it was funny enough, like, we were doing an FIU, like, this film festival called May Madness, which is the one I was talking about, where, like, you know, first time filmmakers get together and we just, you know, work on coming up with a film for the first time. And they really I had done it already once before, and I made, like, a really little, like, project with a few people, and they were like, we want you to write another film for the festival, you know, do it. It's like due tomorrow. So I was like in my room, and I'm like, what am I going to come up with right now? And I thought about, you know, I always say, like, if you're going to write a film, because it's so hard to make a film, like I told you guys, like, it's literally such a process, like, that I'm like, if you're going to do it, man, do it about something you're extremely passionate about. Like, if, like, whatever the story is, you better feel that story in your bones. Like, you better feel that deep in your soul, because you're going to be working on this project for the next 2-3+ years. You're going to be dealing with it, submitting to festivals, showing it to people. So be passionate about it. And I always tell that to people, including myself. And I'm like, okay, so I'm going to write about my mom. Like, that's easy for me to write about because I'm very passionate about that situation. So I just thought, how do I turn this into an interesting story? I always like to try to come up with a storyline or something that people have never seen before. And I don't think I've ever seen a movie where, like, somebody pulls a dead body out of a freezer and, like, eats dinner with it. So I was like, let me try that. Well, I'm super inspired by, like, have you guys ever seen Lars and the Real Girl?
I haven't.
I recommend it. It's a recommendation from me. I recommend it to everybody I know. He basically, like, is a weird guy who it doesn't have social skills, and something really bad happened to him in life. So he moves into, like, a house in the neighborhood, and he, like, somebody goes knocking on his door and, like, says, like, you want to come over for dinner? And, like, he brings over his girlfriend that is actually a blow-up doll. But
Shout out blow-up dolls.
Strange shit.
But he genuinely acts like and believes that this is his girlfriend. And he speaks for her, and he, like, eats her food off her plate and, like, introduces her to them like she's really his girlfriend.
Yo, you know how wild that would be?
God.
And imagine, like, and I'm, like, watching the movie, and the people at the house are experiencing this, and they're trying to be nice to the guy because they know he's a little weird. They know something is fucking wrong with him. But dude, imagine somebody brings a fucking blow, and you know they're fucked up in the head, but you can't tell them, like, hey, your girlfriend's not real. Hey, she's a blow up doll.
Do you look the other way?
The thing is, like, how do you respond to that, right?
Right.
It's a Thursday afternoon. I'm tired. It's
Right.
fourth day at work.
Right.
I just want a fucking beer, and some dude walks in with a blow up doll. I'd laugh. I'd be like, dude, that's fucking good, bro.
Yeah, I would be one of those guys too.
You know?
that
So what,
laughs.
2 beers?
But listen, you'd have to prepare me. He's gonna
Right.
come
Oh,
over.
His
I mean, heads up.
wife in the movie tells, you know, the wife is the one that goes to him and says, like, I feel bad for this guy. Let's invite him over for dinner. So she's the one that tells the husband, like, look, he's going to bring his girlfriend. I don't know
If she's real.
if she's real or not.
If she's made out of plastic.
Like, I don't
or
think
not,
he
yeah.
actually has a girlfriend, so let's
Yeah.
just be nice. And so the guy's
This sounds like a
prepared.
great
We don't know if
movie,
it's
dude.
It's a great movie,
we don't,
man,
we don't know if
honestly,
she's
yeah.
BPA free, bro. Because you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like
Fuck
God.
the turtles, bro.
But dude,
Fuck the turtles.
Ryan Gosling is the lead in that movie, and people
The
have
crazy
never,
dude?
yeah,
Wow.
and people have never seen Ryan
Interesting.
Gosling. There's obviously we know him from The Notebook and
Right.
like, you know, Crazy
Fuck The
Stupid
Notebook.
Love. Where
Sorry.
it's an overrated movie. Let's be real.
That was
Came
a,
from
that,
the
yeah,
dead
that was,
note,
a, that was a
right?
reflex.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That was a reflex.
I've had to see that movie. Let's be nice 10 times. Never
Because
of
of a
my
girl-
own will.
because of a girl every
Of
single
course.
time. Yeah.
I've never been like, yo, you know what? Let's catch the fucking Notebook.
I'm honestly lucky. Who says
Right?
that?
That's
though?
what I'm saying.
Like,
oh,
Hey, how
they
you
all say it.
doing?
What do you mean?
no,
They've
the girls
all
do.
said it to
But you know
yeah.
what? I'm lucky enough that like I'm actually the one that told my girlfriend, do you want to watch The Notebook? Because like I was surprised that she hadn't
Reverse
asked
psychology.
me yet.
Well played, sir. Well played.
And she was like, no, I've never really cared about the movie, and I'm like, okay.
No, son.
yeah.
All right.
You don't have to tell me twice. Like, we're not watching that movie. I've also seen it like 10 times, you know.
Yeah.
And but yeah, it's super overrated. But Ryan Gosling actually, you know, he's a decent actor. We all like him. He's like
He did
guy.
good in Blade
Right.
Runner.
Yeah. And but in
And
this
Drive.
movie,
I enjoyed Drive.
Oh,
Driver was good.
Very good work.
Really
Very good
good.
work. And A Place Beyond the Pines too. I don't know if you guys have heard of it.
Not the name.
He's like all tatted up.
I want to watch this one though.
Blue,
Is it- is it
Blue
kind of
Valentine. Blue
comedic?
Valentine was
Real
also
girl.
good.
Absolutely.
Blue Valentine.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
good. It's like about a couple's relationship falling
Yeah.
apart, but really good. But no, in this movie, Larger Than a Real Girl, it's comedic. It's weird. He plays a weird guy, a nerdy weird guy with like a mustache, and it's just super weird. And like you never seen him in this. You never think he would play a role like this. But that movie major inspired me. So that night when I was like trying to figure out what script to write, I'm like, I'm gonna combine like my mom's story and the story of Christmas and like this being a sad thing and the idea of something that people don't expect, which is like my dead girlfriend, you
Right.
know, my dead wife that I'm gonna like have dinner with, like that's like slightly funny but also like completely uncomfortable.
Yeah, there was some moments that because he's sitting with a dead body, right?
Literally.
So you're not supposed to laugh. This is a weird
Right.
situation that's going on.
Right.
But there were some funny moments where
Oh,
I,
yeah.
I would
Well,
laugh. I'd be like, yeah, this is kind of
I love
hilarious. What
I
the
love
fuck is
movies
going on?
like that when I
Yeah,
watch
yeah.
movies like that like I know I'm not supposed to laugh, but it makes me like
It forces I don't know if uncomfortable is the right word, but it forces a
Reaction.
reaction that you logically know you're not supposed to have.
Right,
Which I
right.
like that.
Yeah, I love
There's
that
something
contrast in
uncomfortable
movies.
there.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, this is kind of fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Like that's why I love that comedy.
Yeah.
If it's something that we're not supposed to be laughing at, usually makes you laugh twice as much.
Exactly. You're laughing even
Very
harder.
true. Very true.
It was really cool. It was really cool. And if it's got this vibe, this movie with the Gosling one, definitely want to watch that. That shit sounds hilarious.
It's even funnier though because she's a blow up doll. Like
Which is
the girl,
hilarious.
The girl in my
That's
movie is
insane.
like dead.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
oh,
but
yeah,
this
it's a
girl
real
is
dead body,
literally
yeah.
a blow up doll that you're supposed to have sex with.
Which is fucking
and he's like
hilarious.
very in love with her, like passionately in love with
And
her.
it's crazy because that's like real life now.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
2021. There's
yeah.
dudes out there
You know,
married
yeah,
to
yeah.
holograms.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they
this
have
is real
to,
life.
yeah. Like,
Bro, you can marry Dan Bell.
especially like, dude, during the pandemic, I can imagine so many people ordered blow up dolls on the internet.
Oh,
yeah.
that's
Are you kidding me?
That's a
no,
booming
like,
business right
I was
now.
watching
yeah.
this.
Oh,
Big
that and fleshlights. Shout out.
Oh, big time.
That's a
Met
sponsor.
the Fleshlight owners, the creators of the company in
respect.
Austin. I was
Get a sponsorship, bro.
2014 maybe. We were trashed as fuck on 6th Street.
No, yeah, go.
I went to college outside of Austin.
Right.
Shout out Texas State University. Fuck UT. And we were just drinking in 6th Street, and these guys were trying to order something at the bar, and I'm pretty sure we were friends with the bartender, and I just kept hearing them order shit, and no one would fucking pay. They're just nerdy white dudes, so no one would pay them attention. And I was drunk enough. When I pass a certain level of drunk, I buy everyone everything. I even if I don't have the money, I'm that kind of guy. I'm like,
you
fuck it,
wake
you
up
want to
in a-
drink? Let's go, baby.
And you
Oh,
wake up
yeah.
in the morning and you're like,
You're like, why is there so much red alerts on my phone, you know? But I was like, bro, what do you guys want? Boom. We got them the drinks, and then they were like super stuck to us. And I was like, whatever, dude, whatever. There's more people. We're going to another bar if you guys want to come through. And we were cutting through this alley to get into this bar to the upstairs. And they're like, yo, you know, we own a company. We got to get going. But if you give me your address, I'll send you some shit. And I was like, yeah, for sure.
we own a company? They just
I
said
was
like, yeah.
First of all, I was trashed.
Okay.
Someone random in an alley asked me for my address, and I gave it.
You were so
Trashed as fuck. That's first of all, you don't do that.
That's
right?
how you know, yeah.
That's
It's
accepting
dangerous.
candy
Yeah,
from a fucking
don't
van.
do that
literally
at
does.
home, kids.
And I was
No,
like,
no,
yeah, for
please
sure,
don't.
bro. Boom. He pulled his phone out. I was like, yeah, give it to me. I'll fucking write it in. Boom. I gave it to him. And he was like, for
hilarious.
sure, you know, we'll see you around, whatever. They left, and I woke up, and I didn't even fully, like, that wasn't one of the things that I remembered. And my boy was like, why'd you give those fucking people the address? And I was like, oh, dude, that's right. I don't know. They said they owned the company. I don't know, bro. Whatever. Who
Sounded
gives a-
legit. So,
But I remember being like, if they show up, we'll beat the fuck out of them. Like, it's fine, bro.
It's
and then
fine.
we just kept going. Life went on. And then 3 days later, I got a fucking box with loaded to the brim with like little loot packets, all sorts of fucking fleshlights. It was the fucking tits. There was movies in there. And I was like,
Respect.
and that's why you give addresses out, bitch.
Boom. Oh
get
my
the good
God.
Because it was the three of us roommates that we went out. So they sent it for all of us. Right?
Bro, you're
'Cause
the
we
type that
all
would go
nice.
inside vans for candy, huh?
Hell yeah, baby.
Honestly.
Hell yeah.
He's like, I got a Reese's
Yo,
out of it, bro.
Fun dips
Like,
are delish, baby. Fun dips are delish. So they sent them for everybody. And I was like, fuck you guys for questioning me.
I know,
They're all
right?
mine
They're all
now.
mine
So
nice.
fuck you guys.
Hell yeah,
Probably still have
respect.
it.
I mean, shit.
Actually, I threw it away like maybe four months ago. Dude, that was
Damn.
like fucking. I hadn't used it in years.
Yeah.
It's just
Right.
I was moving some shit from the top shelf somewhere, and I think maybe I was looking for an actual flashlight, and I
Right.
saw this thing. I was like, that's not it's just not. Doesn't make sense. The size
How
of
do
a
you
flashlight.
use this,
So I
bro?
pulled it down. I was like, oh fuck, that's right.
Right. Use
Had
it
to throw
twice.
it out.
Use it twice. Once for
No.
one for the novelty and twice
No,
for
no,
the
did not
investment.
use it
You know,
twice.
like,
I
that's,
used it a lot of times. Yeah.
that's about it. JC, what would you say are some of your biggest inspirations when it comes to directing, when it comes to the sort of feeling that you're trying to garner from your audiences?
But that's a great question. I was excited about this question because I'm gonna put you onto some good shit right now. And
Please
if you
do.
haven't seen it already,
Enlighten me.
Ari Aster's Hereditary, the movie Hereditary. Have you guys seen it?
I did.
That's
I
a
did.
horror movie with the that one, right?
Yeah. Did you not
Next.
like it?
Not a horror movie guy. Not a horror.
He's not a
Okay,
horror movie
okay,
guy.
respect,
He's not.
respect,
He's not. He's
respect.
Not at all.
So that movie to me, something
great
happens.
things, though.
Yeah, no. Oh, so you didn't even watch it?
No. Oh, I don't watch
okay.
horror movies.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
fair.
yeah.
That's fair. So you watched it?
Yes.
Okay, so something happens in that movie. I don't want to spoil it for the people listening, and also for you if you ever watch it one day. Well, the thing is that I find interesting about that movie is that I actually love horror movies, but lately I haven't found any horror movies that like get me going. I don't understand.
Same, bro.
That's because you guys are desensitized psychopaths.
Shout out
Yeah.
to Train to Busan.
Maybe a little bit.
yeah, for sure.
A little bit.
A little bit.
But what's cool about this movie is that it's not really a horror movie. I mean, horrible things happen, but it's more of like what the director says he calls it like a family drama because it's really based around. I know, right?
What kind of family is this guy got, bro?
Yeah,
really,
family
really
drama.
fucked up. But it's really based around this family's relationship and what this horrible event does to the family's relationship. So the horrible event that I don't want to spoil, the way they depict it in that movie, like it's one of the moments in my like cinema experience that truly affected me in no way that I've been affected by any movie before. I was sitting in that movie theater and I watched this happen. You know what the moment I'm talking about?
Of course.
And
Does that have something to do with the school bus?
no.
No.
It has something to do with a child. And it's literally like you watch that shit and you are so uncomfortable by it. You're just so like, oh,
Yeah.
see that. Like that's so. And I don't know, like something
That's
about.
why I don't watch these
I know,
movies.
right. You have to be fucked up in the head to like
Right.
want to watch something like this. But
yeah.
I don't know, like for me, when I watch movies, I want them to affect me. Whether it's like the uncomfortability, whether I'm laughing my ass off, or whether I cry, or whether I want to be affected by the movie. Like, want that shit to fuck me up. Like, fuck
Yeah,
me
no,
up
no,
with some fucking
100%,
movie.
I agree.
You know, so I want to make movies like that. I want to make movies like when you watch that shit, you get fucked up by it.
Right.
Like so.
It becomes involuntary.
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So that movie inspires me for that reason, and then of course like Kubrick's films because they're just one of a kind. You know, watching like The Shining and Clockwork Orange and
Fuck Shining,
all this
dude.
crazy. Like, you know, like those kind of movies inspire me deeply because they stand alone, bro. Like they stand alone. Like no movie is like that. Like The Shining is one and done.
Right.
No movie
Apparently,
is like that.
someone told me that they made a second one.
Yeah, but I didn't even watch it because
I didn't even
what
know
the
it
fuck?
existed.
Like, what's the point? Like, The Shining, Jack
Oh, yeah, I'm
Nicholson.
not watching that shit.
Like,
Yeah.
come on, like it just So to me, that really inspires me. And then I really like Ari Aster, Stanley Kubrick, and then two other directors, major Christopher Nolan, obviously, but he's just like you
Gang
said,
shit.
like the king of our time. He is the man right now,
Yep.
as far as directors go of our generation. And just like what he does with sound in his movies and how
Dude.
he creates suspense and shit. Like I
Shout out
dream-
Hans Zimmer.
Right.
Shout
One of
out.
the greatest
Big
composers of
shout
all
out.
time. So
Mm-hmm.
the way he uses sound and shit. And then finally, Alejandro Iñárritu, which actually directed Birdman and a few other movies that are pretty.
Man, maybe I need to watch that movie, bro.
Oh,
I think
dude.
there's so many good,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
many good
Yeah.
things.
Oh.
Yeah. What he does that gets me is his relationships with people, and then how he incorporates like magic into his movies. Like, I'm not a sci-fi guy, but in Birdman, like, people are flying and shit. But somehow it's a drama. It's a drama about an actor who is struggling to like live up to the image that he created in his past. Like, he played Batman. He played like the character of Batman.
Yeah, that's what that's how they tried to sell me.
So it's interesting because he's dealing with a bunch of internal turmoil, but he also has magical powers.
Right.
But I love that he puts a regular person into a position where they have magical powers, and it's like, what would actually happen if a regular old person had magical powers? Like, how would they deal? They wouldn't be a superhero. They would be a fucked up human being with magical powers. Like, if I could lift shit in this table right now with my mind, I'd probably still just be the person that I am with all my vices and all my shit and all my insecurities and issues. I just can lift shit with my mind.
Right.
But you know, human beings are flawed, and I don't think that powers or magic would fix us.
Interesting.
So I think that's fascinating the way he brings that out in his movies. So all of those fucking guys in those movies make me want to make some movies that fuck people up.
Hell yeah, bro. Damn, you can put that on my tombstone right there. That's beautiful.
Well, let me ask you. So you said Nolan, right? Nolan is the one that did Tenet.
Yeah.
Right? He's the last one.
Like
which
I said,
I haven't come around to because I don't know where to stream it. Is the
bro,
thing.
you know, did you like Inception? Okay.
Love
Understatement,
Inception.
right? So Inception is an incredible movie. Like, I really, really enjoyed it. I like Interstellar more.
To me, the best Nolan one is Interstellar.
Right. I agree. Inception is great. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. The first time I watched it, I didn't fully understand it. I had to watch it again, but hey, it was good enough to watch again. And I did watch it again.
It made me
and
watch it again.
Yeah. So I like it a lot. But Tenet is like, if he said, you thought Inception was confusing? No.
Oh, shit.
Watch this shit. You won't get it.
Interesting.
He doesn't want you to understand the movie. And maybe I'm dumb. Call me dumb. Some people listening right now are probably like, dude, you didn't get it. You're fucking dumb. You know what? He did not want you to understand the movie. The movie's not made to understand. I don't think, like, and that kind of bothered me. I'm
But
like,
in an annoying way.
yeah, man, because he does it with all his other movies. Like, all his other movies have some sort of deep meaning or some complicated like structure to it, and it's like Memento, where the guy is like has short-term memory loss. Right, that's
that was
him.
fucking great.
And that's
movie.
an older one, but dude,
Yeah,
it
I
was
think it's
really
99.
yeah.
Is that
It's
Colin
the 90s
Farrell?
movie.
Who's,
Or no, Colin Firth? Is that? I don't fucking know his
I
name.
think so.
Something like that, but incredible movie, but super confusing, and like, you know, we're as confused as the guy who can't remember shit in 5 minutes. But dude, in Tenet, I was just like, of course he wows you with his sound design, he wows you with his visual effects, with his locations, the incredible actors. Denzel Washington's kid is in the movie, right?
Yes.
And action sequences, fucking awesome. Just things are blowing up, crazy ass shit is happening in the movie. I mean, it's very entertaining visually, but I'm like lost the whole time. Like, so what's the fucking point? Like, what's going on? Like, what time are we in right now? I don't understand.
What did you think of Mother? Did you watch it?
I did watch
What did
it.
you think?
I think that movie's good. I think that movie's good. I think that's the one about the surrogate robot mother, right? Or no?
No, with oh my god, the one that played Mystique.
No idea what Mother is.
Oh my god,
Jennifer Lawrence?
Jennifer Lawrence.
Shit, I don't remember.
The one that the one that they I mean, it was I guess it was kind of controversial because they were going for a shock factor with the whole, like, there was a baby that like a crowd ate pretty much.
Oh no, I
don't know if you
it.
remember, but yeah, I felt like, so
Is
it
she
was
called Mother? Oh yeah, it's her. It's Jennifer Lawrence.
it was actually representing the story of the Bible. And
What's this guy's name? The one that plays her husband or whatever? Phenomenal actor.
who?
The guy, fucking Spanish dude.
Dude,
The guy from James Bond.
There's like
the
Javier Bardem, bro.
Yeah.
Oh,
what's that
Javier
movie?
Bardem,
A No Day for No. What's it
Oh,
called?
No Country for Old
No
Men.
Country for Old Men.
That
Phenomenal.
movie is one of the greatest movies of all time.
That guy.
Facts.
Come on.
Wild fucking actor.
Are you kidding me, dude?
Wild fucking
It's
actor.
funny. I actually saw an article the other day. You might have seen it too. That like I don't know, something like 180 psychologists or something studied movies to see which one most accurately represented like a psychopath and a sociopath. And
100%.
Country for Old Men is like the one that most accurately represents like a clinical psychopath.
They could have performed a study with 150 barbers, and he would have been the fucking psychopath that they would have chosen. Because I mean, just the hairdo. What the fuck are we doing the whole way through?
That's
This guy
true.
was
That's
crazy off the rip.
It's the haircut, bro.
It's the haircut. It's the haircut.
Fucking haircut.
Have you seen that movie?
Bro.
Dude, look up No Country for Old Men. The guy's hairdo.
Honestly, with that hairdo, all you have to do is stand there, bro. Just
this guy's
stand
gonna
there.
fucking kill me.
I'm
bro.
convinced you're gonna fucking murder everybody.
Crazy.
right now, bro.
That guy, crazy
bro,
actor.
no, incredible actor. And actually, he's in a Alejandro Iñárritu movie called Beautiful. It's a 3-hour movie, and it's very independent film type, which is just like, but, oh, man.
Bro, you seen, right? The hairdo. Off the rip, that's what it, you're like, nah, what?
Bro, I
the
wish you
whole
could pull it
movie, the whole movie, he's got that hairdo.
Yeah.
And you know, bro, he
just stands
he
there, bro.
owns the fucking hair. At no moment is he like, why am I wearing this bullshit? The whole way through, he's like, yeah, this is my hair.
And at no moment are you like, does this guy really have this fucking hair?
No, you're like, yeah,
Yeah,
the
that's
whole
his hair.
thing fits.
No,
The
that's his
whole
hair.
thing fits the whole way through.
Bro, and he's a crazy guy in that movie, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Incredible. I love movies where people play like crazy people.
Shout out, what's his name in Django?
Django.
Which one though?
I mean,
Jackie.
stabbed his fucking hand.
Oh, Leonardo
Leo,
DiCaprio.
dude.
DiCaprio.
Leo,
The
man.
fucking goat, baby.
You know,
you go.
I was like not sold on Leo until the last like 5 years because he had done a bunch of movies and I hadn't watched the ones where he really acted hard in it. I had
Which
only
one
watched
hooked
the
you?
ones. Okay, I saw
Was it Wolf?
dude, Wolf was
Wolf was fucking dude.
that movie was
Right.
so exciting to watch.
Fuck yeah,
Oh,
baby.
hell yeah.
And no, that movie's
Fucking
awesome.
love that movie.
Hell
That
yeah.
movie's awesome, man. That movie's such a great, exciting movie to watch.
That it blew my mind when they said that whole what was it, maybe 7-10 minutes was all ad lib
Yeah.
between him and Mcconaughey, the whole thing.
Yeah.
The
Wait, but
song.
Before we continue, because I think we're already kind of
Yeah,
halfway.
we're-
We're already fucking doing it. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what I'm saying? Every single
Oh, that's
week,
fair,
we
that's
have
fair.
two. We have two. I said call them 2 segments, you know what I'm saying? And one of those is actually the movie review of the week. You know what I'm talking about? We kind of been already doing it for the past 20 minutes, but you know what I'm saying? But every single week we ask our illustrious guest, whomever it may be, to suggest a film, a TV show, any sort of media that if they could recommend to the masses, if they could recommend to a clamoring group of people, this would be the recommendation because it has bestowed such an impact on their life that they need to bestow it upon other people. JC, take
That's
it away.
a big response. I mean, I've already recommended so many.
You have. Cheaper by the
dude.
dozen, baby.
Just saw that movie
Definitely.
yesterday.
Banger.
Never seen it before.
I'm not recommending
Hilarious.
that. Very funny. I won't recommend that
Hilarious.
one. I did not change my life. I won't recommend it. But dude, I mean, shit, man. Like, if you haven't seen, it's hard. It's a big responsibility.
It's a big one.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's tough,
It's a
tough.
tough one. We had, by the way, an MMA fighter who swore that the best movie she's ever seen was
Glad you
Twilight.
reminded me of that.
I'm about to walk out of this.
I did. I walked out.
He did. He did.
Actually, I'm glad you
Twilight,
brought it
I'm
up. Jahida, I tried it about, I would
Wait,
say
is she serious?
20.
She was dead fucking
Dude,
serious.
we had a
Like-
whole 20-minute discussion about this.
Like, we gave her 10 minutes to back out. I was like, are you sure?
I'm glad you brought it up. Jahida, I tried it. About 20 minutes in, I stopped and I had to watch Blade because I couldn't. Babe, I tried.
You're gonna do your highlight like that? Come on.
It's one of those
Babe, I
movies
tried.
that
I had to
makes
put
me
Blade on. I
sick.
had to wash my mouth out of it. I fucking
sick.
couldn't, dude.
Yeah,
I couldn't.
I agree. It makes me sick. That's a movie that I recommend not to watch. I
You know
recommend
what, though?
avoiding that movie at all costs.
Mad respect because, I mean, like, swears not by the movie, by the fucking franchise as a whole. Like,
yeah.
Like, this is her world, and
Yeah.
she was super fucking about it. And I kind of respect that, right?
I respect
it's
it.
not. I have never heard anyone be
respect
like,
it.
"Oh yeah, this movie's
I
awesome."
mean, yeah, that's respectable. If you really have a strong opinion on that and then you're just sticking to that.
We went
Yeah.
on 20
Oh, yeah.
minutes.
Yeah.
We went on 20
wow.
minutes.
You guys tried.
Oh,
You
Oh
guys
yeah, because there's certain things that I'm not willing to say on the air, and that was, you know what I'm saying? That's
I
one of
love
those,
vampires.
you know.
Well,
I love vampires.
Yeah, I think that's
and
cool.
I fucking
No, but that movie's trash.
did not enjoy that movie at fucking all. Any
Yeah.
of those
No, you
movies.
can't watch that movie, man.
So
Don't watch
what-
that movie, guys. Sorry.
Don't watch that movie.
I'll tell you the movie though. I recommended a bunch. Obviously, like Interstellar, Lars and the Real Girl.
Course,
you
of
know,
course. It could
Hereditary,
also be
all
a
that
show
stuff.
if you're binging something right now.
You know, I'm not big on TV shows. Well, we can get
Okay.
to that later, but like, I don't know. I just can't get into TV shows. I don't know why. But
Gotcha.
the movie that I'll recommend is actually something that I'll go way back to, and maybe some people won't enjoy the movie, but like the movie that got me into movie making or into like the whole world of like acting and all this stuff is actually Gladiator.
Oh,
Yes, baby.
You know what I mean?
yeah.
That movie, bro.
Again, shout out Hans Zimmer.
Okay,
Dude,
yeah,
you see,
right.
it's the
Respect,
music.
respect.
Sound in
Listen,
movies
so
fucks me
important.
up.
You had
That
me
movie's
hooked
important,
because
bro.
what has happened for the last 10, maybe 15 years is directors stop paying the respect. I don't know, maybe it's not directors, maybe it's production companies, but we stop paying respect to the soundtrack.
Dude, right? It's
because
like
it is essential in a movie. We got to a point where you become annoyed with the soundtrack. You're like, oh yeah, I heard this shit like 15, 17 times. Because
or they don't know
that's
how
what
to
use
use
with the
sound.
genre.
Exactly.
You just use the same sound with the same genre.
That's why I love Nolan, dude. Because he dropped, even in Tenet, which I just trashed on the podcast. But dude,
the sound.
Bro, I'm like, this guy's a fucking genius. Because obviously, like, it's Hans Zimmer a lot of the time. And I forget who is the composer in this one, but you as a director work closely with all your people. You know,
it was
your
probably
editor.
Zimmer. Because, I mean, Nolan's done a lot of them.
The way that
he did all the Batmans.
Music can literally put you on the edge of your fucking seat in a movie. You know, where you're literally like, and Gladiator, man, like that music made me cry. Dude. That music made me laugh. That music made me fucking be passionate. I mean, yeah, I literally, it's funny, like that movie, when I watched it as a kid. My dad would show me crazy movies at 8 years old, like Scarface and Goodfellas.
Oh, dang, respect.
Like, I was too young to be watching those movies.
Also,
but it was
classics.
amazing. One of the best movies of all time. So he showed me that movie, and then like for some reason we were always so hype on that moment where he like the emperor comes down to the Colosseum.
Marcus
and,
Aurelius.
Like, what's your name? And he's like,
hell yeah,
and
boy!
he takes off his fucking helmet. He's like, Maximus Decimus Meridius, father to a murdered son, husband. He goes into it,
wife.
and it's like
General of the armies to the north. Listen, baby, I know it too.
and I
Are
will
you
have
kidding?
my vengeance.
Fuck yeah,
I love this fangirling moment right now. I love
Bro,
this.
I'm
Listen,
telling
dude,
you
are
that.
you not entertained?
No. I love it. I
Are
fucking
you
love it.
not
I fucking love it.
entertained?
Bro?
No, that's a line from the
No, I know.
Okay.
Bro, and he throws the fuck. Nah, I mean, if you haven't seen that movie, I don't care if you're a guy, because I'm not being sexist, but like, it's more of a guy movie. Like, let's be real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, guys, but honestly, just whoever you are, like, male, female, if you haven't seen the fucking movie, like, watch the fucking movie. Watch the whole thing.
How many stars out of 5 stars?
5, 10 out of 10.
That's beautiful.
It's literally like
Non-quantifiable.
impeccable film.
God,
like,
that's beautiful.
Honestly,
Joaquin murdered the game.
You see Joaquin Phoenix. Bro.
What'd you think of Joker?
Murdered the game.
Bro, we talked about Joker for like a second while you were over there, and like respects. He didn't like it as much, right, Emilio?
I love the movie. It's just, and I've said this to you many times. It's not a movie about the Joker from DC. Like, it's a movie about a psychopath that, like, somebody that had a psychological disorder that broke. And that's what we saw. And he did a great fucking job.
No, the acting, you
Great
can't
fucking
shit on the acting at all.
The
Just
director
acting
was
is impeccable.
fantastic.
Yeah,
I mean,
also.
the
You know
movie
what's
was
really
fucking
crazy about the
amazing.
director, bro? He directed Hangover movies, bro.
Uh-huh.
He directed the
wow.
Hangover trilogy,
Yeah,
bro.
dude.
Wow.
you believe
That's
that?
why Callan comes out in that movie.
Ridiculous.
Because they're homies.
That's fucking insane.
That's insane. That's insane.
Wow.
And then Joaquin
Great
Phoenix is
range.
over there absolutely murdering the game with that performance. I really think that's a legendary performance. I think a lot of people that I've spoken to feel similarly, and I kind of feel this way, which is that the story itself, like the movie, like the plot of the movie, is not as strong as the performance of the movie.
Oh, agreed.
Like,
Right.
You know, the
yeah,
plot
he
itself.
carried the movie.
Oh,
yeah.
You know,
It was
that's
still
I think
a good
pretty.
movie. Without him, still a good
absolutely.
movie. It wasn't fucking the masterpiece that it ended up being.
Right.
But it's not the Joker movie, because if you put that character, he can't fight a Batman. Like, it's just, at the end of the day,
I agree with that.
It's
And
a
also,
comic
it was
book, you know?
cool that he met the young Bruce Wayne. But then I was like, damn, if that's the young Bruce Wayne, when he's actually Batman, you're gonna be old as fuck. Like,
Correct.
is
'Cause he's
Joker
already
that
old as fuck.
Yeah, he's like old and like, I mean, yeah, I thought it was cool what they tried to do. It's not a Joker that I think you can bring back. Like, you can't bring back Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker right now.
Great standalone movie.
Great standalone.
Great standalone movie.
And so I think you're right. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not like an actual Joker, like, you know, origin film or anything you can incorporate into the DC universe.
It's a one and done.
Yeah,
Done very
The
well,
performance
though.
itself,
Done
yeah,
very
it's
well.
really, really awesome. And when
Best
I saw
Joaquin
it,
Phoenix performance, you think?
dude, he's done some incredible shit, man. I think
Her
he's
was
underrated.
fucking
Her
great.
was great.
Her, dude,
To me, his
incredible.
best one is still Gladiator. The way that he
Bro, when
kills
he
him,
kills the guy. I'm sorry, guys, but dude,
when he kills his dad,
dude.
bro. I remember being like,
kills his dad.
"What the fuck is going on?"
bro,
And I was raised a single mother, so I didn't have that relationship with a father. And I remember being like,
just kill your dad. Bro.
"What the fuck is going on, guy?"
And
We're
it's
not
like,
supposed to do
bro,
that.
man, no, man, the way he like, yeah, I mean, I don't even know, man.
Mm-hmm.
Joker's definitely like, if not the best, like top 3, I think, of his.
Oh yeah,
Because it really
It'd
is
probably
something
be that
special.
one, Gladiator, Joker.
Have you guys seen The Master, bro, with Philip Seymour Hoffman?
Was that his last performance?
It was one of his last ones.
Philip Seymour
haven't.
Hoffman?
Oh, bro,
one-
he's the like
Terrible with names.
no, he's the white guy that has like blonde hair. He's a little chubby, and like he did like he played a Bond villain one time.
He died from heroin overdose.
Look him up.
I feel like that's
You've right. You'll
pretty,
recognize him when you see him.
That happens pretty often. I feel like for
In
actors.
Hollywood?
Yeah.
It happens really unfortunately to like some of the greatest that there have
Yeah.
ever been, bro. Like Heath Ledger's a great actor. Well, he overdosed on something
He's
else.
fucking
It
dead.
was sleeping pills, yeah.
Heath Ledger?
No.
Oh, Philip Seymour Hoffman.
yeah.
He's
Great
dead.
actor.
Great, yeah. You
Oh,
saw
This
phenomenal.
guy's a great
Phenomenal.
fucking actor.
Really fucking
He does
good
some
actor.
roles where he's kind of like, I don't know if crazy, but like kind of neurotic.
Yeah,
And he
plays him really well.
Really well.
Really
Was he a method actor?
You know, I think some people said that.
I could see
I
that.
think some people said that.
Because
And
he
you know,
fell into some roles.
it's something that, and you're an actor, you can comment on this. Have you acted before?
No.
I think that is the most. I don't know how you feel about it, but I think that's the most like just simple, shitty thing that you can do as an actor for your health, and also cheap, like as an actor to do that. Like I don't know, if you want to get to know the character and you want to put yourself in their shoes, I get that. Like you want to understand more of like what the job would be like to be in their shoes. Okay, fine. But if you're gonna literally like psychologically damage
Right.
yourself to play a role, no.
Honestly, it seems like more of a shortcut to me than anything.
Right.
You're avoiding
You're
avoiding the hard job that is juggling your life and the character's
cheating.
life.
And like it's funny. There's this story I think that encompasses it all, which is like you guys have heard of like Laurence Olivier, right? He's known as like the grandfather.
Yeah,
of
yeah,
acting.
yeah.
You know, he like taught Marlon Brando and him are like the greatest actors of all
I
time.
know
right?
Marlon Brando.
Yeah,
Shout out the GOAT, Godfather.
the goat.
Right.
So whatever, Laurence Olivier, famous actor from like the Shakespearean era of like film and shit. He plays with Dustin Hoffman in a movie. You guys know Dustin Hoffman, obviously,
course.
Rain Man.
Yes.
So he
no
comes
idea
on.
who Laurence Olivier
they're-
is.
That's okay because he's like an old actor. Like honestly, you fucking know him if you go to like acting school. But he's you know what I
That's
mean?
the
Like,
vibe I'm getting with
yeah,
this.
yeah,
dude.
absolutely.
Oh,
But-
he's Spartacus?
yeah, and he was like, what is it, Lawrence of Arabia and shit.
Spartacus, though?
But
Is-
Dustin Hoffman did a movie with him, and he shows up like he's playing a character that hasn't slept in 3 days and like has a rough time. So Dustin Hoffman doesn't sleep for 3 days and like doesn't eat for 3 days, like doesn't change his clothes.
Right.
And he shows up to
I
set.
didn't know he was method.
Yeah, apparently he's done method shit before. So he shows up to set with Laurence Olivier, who's a classic actor. He's done like old movies from like the 30s and 20s. Classical actor, classically trained. And he shows up and he looks like shit and he smells bad and
That BO.
and he shows up to Laurence Olivier, who's been acting. He's like an acting titan, and he's like,
He's probably fucking pissed.
"Have you ever heard of acting, my boy?"
Oh my god.
like-
That's worse than any fucking
right?
curse word you can say.
And that's the truth though. Like when you are an actor,
That hurt me.
It hurts, you know. But, and Dustin Hoffman got his shit together, took a shower, and came back to set. You know, like
You know
okay,
how
let me.
hilarious it would be if I'm like a PA just walking around there and being like,
Like,
did he just fucking say that right?
that's a mic drop right there.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
literally a mic drop.
hilarious.
I would need to spill that
You
tea
know.
the same day.
Yeah,
God,
yeah,
crazy.
tell
Like,
everyone.
oh,
So
my-
I think that describes it perfectly. It's like you, that is not acting. Like doing that, like psychologically damaging yourself. Like you're not having to do any acting, and you're also putting yourself in jeopardy. So I think like you need to mix putting yourself in the character's shoes and putting in the work in that sense, and also being professional and technical with your acting. I think you need to mix the two and have a good balance to where you're taking care of yourself.
There's
Like,
definitely something to be because there's definitely something to be said about these method actors, but like
well,
there's a few
definitely
of them.
yeah.
There's a few
I mean,
of them
for-
that
Well, look at Daniel
genuinely-
Day-Lewis.
That's,
I mean,
that's what I was
he
about
is
to
a
say.
method
You
actor.
know?
Okay, but the
He's
stories of freaking if you can open up a little bit.
Oh, yeah,
Of Jared Leto sending fucking rotten rotten fruits and rotten
Oh, when he did
all
the
all the
Joker?
shit when he was the
feel like
Joker
that's
to his
ridiculous,
castmates, and his castmates would say, "Yo, I fucking hate this guy." Like,
And
there's-
it's that's not fair for the people on set, bro.
Correct.
Like,
Like,
are you
dude,
kidding
correct.
me? This
Like-
guy's walking around acting like a fucking man.
But that's
Yeah,
what we were talking
like,
about earlier. I think it has to do with the mythos that was created after Heath Ledger died. Like I think himself, he's also like, people see me as a singer,
right?
you know, so I have to like overdo it to be able to step anywhere near the shoes that Heath Ledger put up. Which again, fantastic Joker performance. It's a little overhyped in my opinion because he died, you know, which
if
becomes
he wouldn't have died,
unfair.
the performance would be great. But it
Absolutely.
wouldn't.
But he garnered-
It wouldn't carry the weight that I think it does now. Not saying he did a bad job. Again, great fucking Joker.
Yeah.
But he to me second fiddle to Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
And second fiddle to Mark Hamill, which to me, I mean, that fucking laugh.
I love that you say that because some people don't know about that life, bro.
Oh,
like Mark
dude.
Hamill's Joker in the animated series.
First of all, it broke me as a child when I realized that Luke Skywalker was the fucking Joker.
Yeah.
It created like
For me, that's how old are you when you found out? Like, I fucking found out that like 2 years ago that Mark Hamill was Luke Skywalker.
My
and
uncle
Joker.
was 8 years. He is 8 years older than me, so he lived to torment me. So when I found Star Wars, I love Star Wars.
I'm a fan.
So
Yeah.
when I
Do you like the new ones? Real quick, do you like the new ones?
I watched them, and I've watched them multiple times, and I will continue to watch them because I love Star Wars.
Right.
So anything I get Star Wars, I'll watch.
You're gonna watch it, yeah.
As a fan,
The old ones are better.
it's a disservice
Yeah.
to the Star Wars.
100%. I mean, that's how every true fan feels, honestly. Yeah,
You can't give one director one movie, a different director another movie, and expect them to be good.
No.
Especially
Right,
if it's
of
you're
course.
trying to tell one story. Like, what the fuck are we doing? We don't write a sentence between a couple people. I don't know. What the fuck are we doing at some point?
Right.
Yeah, they really messed it up.
Not that great. Still watch the fuck out of them.
Yeah.
Also, Rogue One though, it's up there for
That
me.
movie's
It's
kind
one
of
of the
good,
fucking
bro.
best Star Wars.
But the thing is that that's just a good movie.
correct.
Like that, like fuck. If you've never seen a Star Wars movie before,
Great fucking
and you
movie.
watch Rogue One, that's
it's just a
fucking good
sci-fi movie that hits.
Yeah,
Right.
it hits for sure.
A lot of people don't know this, but when we actually met, I had the honor of sharing the stage with you.
Likewise, brother. Absolutely.
Thank you. What role do you feel that having acting experience has played in being able to instruct or direct other actors?
Dude, that is an essential role. I don't know how I would do it without having been an actor myself. I literally can't understand how directors who have never been actors before direct. Like, I'm just like...
Right.
And directors that have worked with me as an actor before, they talk to me, and I can tell the ones that have been actors and the ones that haven't. Or at least the ones that acted a little bit. I think that in order to speak to an actor, you need to have been in their shoes. I really think so. So for me, it's really the language is one thing, especially when I'm speaking to a trained actor. Like I, did 4 years of acting in college and stuff, and you learn certain vocabulary and stuff. So if you're working with a trained actor, like having a vocabulary, at least if you've worked with an actor that's taken like workshops or studied Chekhov or any sort of like acting technique at all, you have a language thing.
Right.
That like you've received this language before, people have trained you in this. And then it's also the aspect of the emotional. Like actors have a difficult fucking job. I don't envy it. I don't want to be an actor anymore. I'll act a little bit. It's an awesome thing to do, and if I get paid for it and I go somewhere with it, awesome. But that's not my main track right now, because I genuinely don't envy actors. I think they have an incredibly difficult job, and it's a lot of pressure, and it's emotionally draining and damaging sometimes. And I think you need to understand that as a director. And I think one of the only ways to understand that is if you've been an actor before. So for me, like working with my friend AJ, who's the lead in the movie we did, is super easy because he's not one of those like actors that goes there emotionally, like in his head. Like he doesn't make it about like, oh, I have to get into the head of the character. Like
He's not a diva.
Right, he's not a diva at all. So it's very easy. But with actors that are more emotional and more like, you need to explain the character to me more. Like, what's going on emotionally here? Like, you need to be able to sympathize and empathize with them and speak their language. So I think with the language thing, that's really what helps me. I've been an actor before, so I know what they need to hear. I think that really helps.
Where's the line between micromanaging or I've been as an actor, I'm sure you've experienced the unfortunate act of like, a director literally going in your place and acting for you or giving or doing the
worst
oh my
thing that
god
can
it's
happen to
so
you, man.
oh my god it's like it's like
It
if
seems ridiculous.
no it's like I'm on stage and I'm like trying to I remember there was a scene that I had to cry on stage, not exaggerating, for like fucking 20 minutes straight, dude, and that really, not being a diva, it takes a lot out of you. It really does.
That's really difficult.
It really is. And so I'm trying to fucking like get in it. Mind you, we're in rehearsal, so it's fine. But I guess I must have did something he didn't like. And he's like, no, but do it like this. He's like, wait. And he makes me get off stage, gets on stage, and then just like sits down, mind you. Obviously he doesn't cry or anything. He's just like, but do it like this. And like does something, is like that. And it's just like, you're not
That's
doing
like,
anything for me.
Imagine you did your whole intro, and then I was like, hold on.
Wait,
and then
wait.
I did it, and I was like, do it like that.
Yeah.
That's
I just tried my fucking hardest to do something right now, and you're gonna just
like
Yeah.
shit on it. Yeah, like
I don't have
it's
the
like-
patience for that.
no.
Right.
No, it's difficult.
So where's the fine line between an actor is not giving you, exactly what you need or want from the scene, or maybe what you envisioned, and not being overbearing?
Well, I've been lucky enough to really work with some talented actors. Like in that movie that I did, obviously my best friend, extremely talented actor. And just in stuff that I directed in college, I worked with talented actors. Like when you work with talented actors, really, really good like actors, you don't have to work as hard as a director because you can just give them leeway to like
Right.
play. Bro.
Give 'em
Just
slack, give 'em slack.
Give me some
Right.
shit. You're gonna give me some shit. You're a good actor. Like I'm gonna go with your impulses. I want to go with what you have to offer. I think it's more of a fine line when you're working with actors who are newer to the craft and just more inexperienced. Because sometimes, especially because I'm an actor, I'm like, I know what they should be doing, and I really do have the feel that I want to like, just do like this. Let me show you how it's done. But like, I know what that feels like as an actor, so I can't do that. So I think it's really just patience, man. Patience
Right.
and finding the right language with that person, because everybody has a different like way they talk to each other,
course.
and way they understand things. I think it helps that like I'm a teacher, so I know that like everyone has a learning curve. Like how do you figure out how to make this student understand something because they learn in a completely different way than this student? Like how do I have to speak to this person right now? So I think directors need to have that ability to differentiate between what actor needs to hear it how. Like for example, like with AJ, because he's very not diva and very like just tell me what you want and I'm gonna give it to you kind of actor, I can straight up be like, look, I need you to hit the wall, slide down, and cry. I need tears, and that's what I need. He's not gonna ask me, and like, why am I crying so much? Like, should I cry this much? He's not.
Right.
He just says, okay, I'm gonna do it, and then he gives me something. For another actor, I might have to give him the whole backstory of why he's on the door and what he feels and what he's thinking about, which is great. Like, that's a director's job. But that's the difference. It's like knowing what the actor needs to hear. You have to know. Like, depending on what kind of actor they are, they might need to hear the whole backstory. They might need to hear why they're feeling this way and all this stuff, and you got to tell it to them. And the other guy might just need to hear, look, I need you to cry. Can you do it? And then just fucking do it.
Right.
And that's obviously easier for me, as a
Hell
director.
yeah.
Right.
But both are fun because it's like you're trying to do the thing to them. You're trying to
Fine-tune.
find the, yeah. So I think it's either way, it's awesome. But the way you dance on the fine line, it's just knowing how to speak to different actors.
Very cool. What was your experience at FIU like? Were you originally going for acting? At what point did you make the transition to more of a directing focus?
So I think that like FIU is a great school for theater. It's a very well-rounded, so you learn all the aspects of it. Like you're not just acting. I went in for acting. I went in for the Bachelor of Fine Arts in Theater Performance. But even as a BFA, you have to learn stagecraft. You have to learn costume design. You have to, and God, when you're getting in there as an actor at 19 years old, you're like, fuck this.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like fuck this shit.
Bruh.
But it turns out that when I graduate and I get into filmmaking, now I know a little bit about set design. I know a little bit about costume design and a little bit about production, a little bit of this, that, because of that school. And you need to know that as a director. You need to know about all the aspects of theater. But the way that I kind of got into it is that I was acting. I think that I acted my ass off at that school. I did so much fucking acting and so many classes about acting and fucking voice and movement and this technique and that technique. I got a little tired of it. I say I don't envy actors. It's an extremely difficult job, extremely emotionally draining. I went through a lot of stuff emotionally in college, and I was like, Jesus Christ, this is such a job.
Yeah.
And when you're in a role, you throw yourself into that role,
Yeah.
and you're all about this one character in this one
Yep.
story.
Yep.
And you're like this one piece of the puzzle you have to focus on. And for some people, that's really easy and like better that you only have to focus on that one piece and that one character. But for me, I started being in plays and thinking about, but what about the whole picture? Like, what about what that guy's doing? And I could probably help that guy, and I want to help that guy. And I started coaching other actors that would come to me and be like, can you help me with this monologue? And I would coach them, and I really started enjoying the process of now crafting a whole story as opposed to just being one little piece of the puzzle.
Right.
And once I got that taste of like, ooh, okay, I can make this guy do this to that guy, and like I'm doing it, and like, and then seeing the story unfold, that to me was much more cathartic than just being one little piece of the puzzle. So after I realized that and discovered that, I was like, I need to do more of this. So thank God my professors gave me more opportunities to direct. I went to a theater conference a couple of times where I had an opportunity to direct. I won an award at one of them as a director. Gave me the opportunity to do workshops and stuff as a director and get notes from other directors that have been doing this for forever. And I was like, this is it for me, man. This is like directing. It's a big job. Obviously, you're responsible for a lot of people, but I realized that I'm actually, my girlfriend always says I'm a better director than an actor, which hurts me deeply because I've studied acting for 4 years.
Yeah, bro. I was like, damn, you're trying me like that, shouty.
Jesus Christ, I literally spent like thousands of dollars on this
baby.
degree. Right?
Thanks, babe.
But she means it in a good way. You know, I love you. I know you're
Thanks,
listening.
babe.
Oh, no, I'm fine. Yeah.
What's really nice when she says that is that she means it in a good way because when she sees me directing, she sees me less stressed than when I'm acting. Like she sees me truly enjoying myself as a director and being able to be more creatively free than when I'm acting. Like she's been with me as I'm doing a role and I don't enjoy it as much. I do it like a job. Like you clock in and out, I do it, I put all the fucking effort into it and then I drop it and I'm like, I gotta do it tomorrow again.
Right.
You know, and she sees that in me, and I think I'm pretty decent at it. I think I did what I had to do as an actor. I've had the opportunity to act in a bunch of different theater companies. I would love the opportunity to continue doing that and meet other actors and be in plays and stuff. But I feel like, you know, yeah, it's true what she says. I genuinely enjoy directing more. I think it gives me more creative freedom.
Do you see yourself directing more in a theatrical manner or more of a filmmaking?
I think that if the opportunity opens up to where like the world goes back to normal, whatever that means, that I'm super open to directing theater if the opportunity comes up. But what I like about film, I mean, obviously there's a million things I like about film, but I think that the fact that you can control what your audience is looking at more, you know, you can really literally frame.
You give them an end product.
You give them an end product. Like what's crazy about theater, and Danny talked about this when he was on the show. I loved that episode of your show. You know, because I've worked with him before. He directed me actually,
right?
And I met him, and we've been super cool for a while. And I saw him at Main Street when I went over there to help direct Will's senior project. He said it. He's like, when you're directing theater, you know, you work so hard in the rehearsal process to get the actors to do what you want them to do, but when opening night comes, you fucking let it go,
right?
And it goes off and becomes something else, bro. These actors are gonna literally make it something else every night. Every night they're going to get on stage, and that's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing about theater, that it changes every night, and they're doing crazy shit. But as a director, you're kind of like, by the end of the fucking run, depending on what show you're doing, you're like, this is some shit I didn't direct.
You're like, wait, hold up.
They're doing some crazy shit up there that I've never seen before. And you don't have control of the end product, and you don't have control of what people see, and I'm sounding like I'm obsessed with control, and that's not even it. But
but I mean, you have a vision for sure.
And I'm really about the detail in the story, and I think there's something about being able to put something in a frame that just creates a lot more opportunity for guiding the detail and creating more detail. And film is what got me into this whole thing, bro. Like I fucking fell in love. I studied acting because I loved movies, because I saw Goodfellas, I saw Godfather, I saw these movies, I saw these guys acting and doing the shit that I was like, these guys are badass.
Hell
and
yeah.
they're showing real emotion and real situations. I want to do that. So, and I never saw a play and was like, God, I need to do this for the rest of my life.
Right.
Unfortunately, I studied acting through theater, and it taught me a lot about acting, but that's not why I got into the entertainment business. I got into it because of movies.
Because of the movies, that's beautiful. It really is. You know, the fact that you were able to find your calling. You know, the fact that you were able to find what it is that you really want to dedicate yourself to. And I do think that it was a tremendous aid that you were near that in some capacity, in some form or another. Yeah. You know, I think definitely helped a tremendous amount. Ladies and gentlemen, every single week we have two segments. And the second one is actually the quest for the truth. You know what I'm talking about? And in this segment, I pick a card, a random card from this here deck of cards. And Emi, stop. And we're gonna Ask the
It's
guest.
interesting how in the quest for the truth, we start with deception.
Oh my
You know?
God! And
We
here
start with
we go
fallacy.
with
That
fake
often
news.
happens that way.
You know?
You know
I
what?
mean,
It does,
you know?
Look at you, the modern day poet.
That's a quote. That's an Emmy quote right there.
Hell yeah.
Right.
No, it makes sense that you're more into the end product, especially with the way that I see that you give so much value to the soundtrack, because it's as much an actor as any actor is. If you don't have a good sound, I mean, you don't get to portray the emotion.
Yeah.
Because the actor does a great job with his face.
Yeah,
But
right.
if you have something to carry it in the background, I mean, it goes 20 times as
Like
far.
that's such a good point, because if you like the scene there's a very intense crying scene where he literally has a fucking mental breakdown in the movie, and I think obviously AJ does a fantastic job of portraying that, and he's crying his ass off and he's really experiencing something emotional. But you know what? If we just played that shit for you without some sound, with some serious soundtrack behind it, it would not hit you that hard.
yeah.
Right.
It would not.
It would only hit you if you've been there.
Right.
You
right.
know,
Yeah.
having not gone through it, the
And-
sound
and if you
adds something
choose-
where you're like, whoa, this could
Right.
be a real
and
thing.
no, and choosing silence is also a very strong choice.
It's
if you
correct.
decided to make it silent, maybe you have something visually that
That you need
serves
to
it
carry
better.
like
yeah,
that.
that you
Oh,
need
yeah.
to carry in silence. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the quest for the truth, would you rather win the lottery or live twice as long?
Wow, that's a good one. We're all gonna answer this, right?
Oh
Everybody's
yes,
answering.
oh
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
oh yes.
Well, let's clarify something.
Oh my
guy, let's clarify something.
Oh my God.
I mean, what am I gonna do at 200 years old? Am I gonna be fucking 200 like decrepit, or
Right.
is my lifespan what's supposed to be 100
Right.
years? Do I age that in 200?
Where do you stop aging?
No, Elon Musk, you got to figure it out. You know, he.
Oh, okay.
You know what
so
I'm saying?
you can
Yeah.
live healthy.
Like
and
I'm a 20-year-old, but I am
Well, I wouldn't
70
say
or
20.
something.
Let's
Right.
say like a solid 50.
No, you know, like when I turn
that's fair.
60, I'm really what a 25-year-old would be like, body-wise, mentally.
Right.
Right. Like would I age slower?
Yeah, I think you
Right,
age
like you
slower.
pull a
like-
Logan. Pull a Logan. you
Okay.
know?
Right.
Okay, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Twice as long, or win the lottery.
In the lottery, we're talking about that one that broke, right? That $2 billion. Let's talk about that.
Yeah,
$2
let's
billion
talk
lottery.
big bucks, baby.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
talk
We're
big
not talking
bucks.
about $100,000.
Yeah,
Get the fuck
yeah.
out of here with
We're
your
not talking
scratch-offs.
about $50 in a bus token.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
I got it. I think it's easy. I think it's easy for me personally, for a couple of reasons. Number one, I need the money to help everyone that I love. Like if I fucking won the lottery, that kind of big lottery,
Gang shit.
everybody I know is gonna live the good life for the rest of their life.
You get a car.
Respect.
You
Yeah,
get
yeah.
a car.
Hell yeah.
You get a car.
Hell yeah.
Everybody. Like,
Hell yeah.
if we have ever exchanged laughs, I'm literally sending you guys like $1 million each. Like,
Fucking love it.
Gang
Hell yeah.
shit,
Gang.
or like billions of dollars. We're talking billions.
Yeah.
I'm fucking hooking
Are
everybody
you
up.
not entertained?
Bro, Joe Rogan, who?
Yeah, right?
Fuck
That's
Joe
it.
Rogan, bro.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying?
We're the new
That's
Joe
what
Rogan.
exactly.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, so that would be the case. And then of course, just financially, that would with films and stuff. Everything I want to do with my life, like in that way, like I'll put like $1 million budget into a feature film, like that
Hell
gives me.
yeah.
And then I just that would help in that way. But then what the other point as to why I wouldn't choose living twice as long is because everybody else is fucking dying, and
Right.
I literally cannot handle that. Like,
Right.
like everybody I know is dead. Of course, I'm gonna meet new people that I'll probably fall in love with and find a very deep connection with, but I'm literally losing everybody I know. Like, you guys are dead, everybody's dead. My girlfriend, my parents, but like my best friends, everybody is going to die, and I'm gonna keep living. And like, you see how Logan deals with it in the fucking movie.
Right.
Like,
Right.
It's
Right.
horrible.
It's horrible.
Like, I mean,
That's true.
You have.
I didn't even factor that in.
People
Yeah.
talking about, I want to be frozen, and then
Wake up, everybody knows dead.
and everybody is. I mean, dude, that'd be depressive as
I mean,
fuck.
there's pros to it. Obviously, you live long enough to see what the world becomes. You have more time to do the shit you want to do and possibly even change the world that you live in.
Right.
But dude, the whole aspect of all your friends and family dying is like scary as fuck.
Emmy, where do you stand?
Yeah, the money for sure. Same regard. I very much like to provide for the family and friends. So that's, I mean, right off the rip, that's the only thing I thought about. But
Yeah, right.
just outliving people, I mean, I hadn't even factored that in. And you know what? What I was thinking the con is for living longer is, like, I see with my grandmother. She was born in 44. I mean, from 44
She's still
to
alive,
21. Yeah, so from 1944, she's 77, something like that. So from
that's good.
1944 to 2021. I mean, the changes are fucking ridiculous.
Oh my God.
The changes are fucking ridiculous.
Like crazy.
Like, and it gets to a point where I get frustrated because, bro, it's the 17th time I teach you how to delete a fucking voicemail. How do I need to still teach you? But then it hits me like, oh, that's right, because the telephone wasn't a fucking thing when you were born.
Crazy
Like,
that shit is today.
like
You know,
self.
there was no fucking what's it called, penicillin when you were born. Like,
oh my God.
so
and now she's FaceTiming.
So
and
like,
shit,
right? She has to figure shit like that out. She has to figure out, driving. So she needs to figure like plasma TVs are a fucking thing.
that is insane.
She works Netflix, and when I sit down and think about it, I'm like, there was fucking black and white TV.
Yeah, well,
and they were
there
fucking
wasn't
this
even-
big
Yeah.
when you were.
They
a
had
kid,
just come
you know?
out. They had just come out.
So like, I couldn't imagine reconciling being born in 1993, and then existing in
2050.
21
Yeah,
and
or
21,
something, yeah.
20. The shit that's going on there, I'd be like, yeah, all right, guys, what the
Yeah,
fuck
what are
is
we
going
doing?
on,
Like,
dude?
what's happening
We
right
had
now?
the sidekick when I was in school. What the fuck is going on
Respect.
right
Hell
now?
yeah.
Bro,
Hell
and,
yeah.
it's moving so fast because there are literally kids in my school. They show me baby pictures and they're taking on iPhones.
wow.
Which is crazy. And you got these kids that learn coding and they're fucking
Yeah,
12.
it's
And I'm
crazy.
like, wait, how do I, where's the save as button on fucking Word? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Wait, so what's your fucking answer? Are you gonna? You wanna live long?
yeah, I
don't you?
think I'm getting that feel too.
I think I think I would say the money as well. I mean, the living longer is appealing to a certain degree, just because you get to have a lot of experiences, and you do to a certain degree get to live two lives almost. You know,
You get a second chance almost.
You get like
right.
there's people.
You have more chance for mistakes too.
That's very true. But you could, I mean, theoretically speaking, you're gonna encounter at some point a reality where no one knew of you or how you were in the past, unless of course everything is being documented and they can, there's files that they can access. But for the most part, there's no proof theoretically of who you were, so you could have a second life.
Yeah.
But within that same notion, I would still, I think, pick the money just because I feel like the quality of the first life will be so significantly better.
Yeah.
Right. You get to enjoy, you live shorter, I guess, in regard to the question, but you get to enjoy it more. Right. Yeah.
Now, so you're not getting out of the you're not getting out of the question. So I'm gonna need that
And
answer.
yo is not an answer.
And yo is not an answer. So
Is
let's
it
make
gonna be
the
unanimous?
trip up there. You know what I'm saying? And let's get that answer going. What is your answer? What will you pick?
I'll take the money, honestly.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
unanimous.
Respect.
Paper,
Unanimous.
baby.
It's unanimous.
I mean, just because
If
by
that's the word.
the end of my life, I mean, I would have enjoyed it to the fullest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree.
Yeah.
You know, like going back to what you said, once you reach that one point in your lives, all your loved ones start passing away.
Right.
You're kind of
What's
left
the
with
point?
nothing.
Yeah.
And like rebuilding that foundation, can destroy you more than actually like.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, it would take
That was deep,
a special kind of
Oh
person
yeah.
to.
Oh yeah, we got real deep. You know what I'm saying? It's like Red Table talk right now. You know what I'm saying? JC, before we start wrapping up, what are some things that you are currently working on? What are some things that people can look out for? Where can people follow you? And lastly, what are the festivals that you're still waiting? I know that you had submitted to a couple festivals. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, good stuff. JC Film Productions on Instagram.
You see it on the
That's-
screen. You
yeah.
see it on the screen.
Yes, sir. That's where I will be posting the link in my bio to watch the film. I'll do that tonight. And the stuff I'm working on right now, like so many different things, man. Like I'm editing right now, currently in the process. I'm going to edit the rough draft of another horror genre film that I worked on. That I recently worked on in actually October of 2020, and now I'm editing it, and I'm gonna release it in October of 2021 because it's a horror film. I'm gonna release it
Right,
on
Halloween. Yeah.
So it's gonna be released around that time, October 30th, something like that. And then I'm actually gonna start shooting another film, hopefully in April, April or March, and it's actually gonna be more of a relationship kind of genre film, like one of those like Blue Valentine.
Very cool.
Like very much about a couple who's like going through something intense. I'm actually doing that film with William.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's
Very
gonna be in it
cool.
with his girl Rosalind, and we're gonna
Big shout out, William, and let me get
William,
that.
my boy's talented as fuck.
Let me get that audition notice. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
gang?
sir. You already know I'm sending that through. But he's amazing. I'm excited to work with him. He's gonna be the lead in that, and gonna just yeah, I'm excited. It's different from the obviously Till Death and like the other horror film that I'm editing right now. It's very much more in the drama, like just realistic, like kind of category. But I'm doing that, and I don't know when that will be released because we haven't even shot it yet. So I'm writing, and writing to me is literally the worst part of everything that I do. It is so difficult and painful, literally the worst thing. So it's just one of those things, like the work part of it.
Right, exactly.
Like when you're editing the video of the thing. It's like when you're fucking
They hear about me complaining, yeah.
It's really, really the gruesome work. So I got to get through that hump right now, write that thing, and then edit that thing, because you know the writing and the editing. It's like the fun part is the conversation.
Exactly.
Writing the show and editing the show is
100%.
the not fun part. So that's what I'm working on right now, and I've been kind of really busy because you know, just moved into a new apartment with my girl. Shout out to her. I know she's gonna listen to the whole thing. She's amazing.
Hell yeah.
And then I've been working 2 jobs to like make a little bit extra cash.
Hell
So
yeah.
I've been super busy, but I got to get back on the grind, and I'm gonna release that film in October. Film this other one, and yeah, man, I'm gonna keep doing this until hopefully one day it pays off, and I can take care of my whole crew without winning the lottery.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Then what a beautiful closing statement. Ladies and gentlemen, can we please give it up for our guest today, JC Gutierrez? Truly, thank you
so much, man.
No,
This has
thank
been
you.
awesome,
Oh, dude, it's
We were
been
definitely
a blast.
entertained. We were
Dude,
definitely entertained.
we will,
not entertained.
dude. We will bring you on for another episode, bro.
I
We'll
would
talk
love that, man.
3 hours of movies. You know,
yeah,
there's so many
bro.
things that we can talk about.
This was awesome.
You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it deeply. Ladies and gentlemen, every Thursday at midnight, you know what I'm talking about. You know what you're doing. You're going on YouTube and you hit subscribe.
You have to.
You know, you go on what is it? Spotify. You go on Apple Podcasts. You go on Deezer. You go on what is it?
iHeartRadio.
You go on iHeartRadio. You go on all of them, man. You find us on damn Pandora. You find us anywhere, bro. You really don't.
Best
You know.
podcast in Miami. Let's go.
Thank you. You know what I'm saying
shit.
right there.
That's it.
Appreciate that, ladies and gentlemen. Every Thursday at midnight, we have a new guest, a new story, and today was definitely not one that you want to miss, ladies and gentlemen. Every Thursday at midnight.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Holla.
And it don't matter what the world thinks. You can say how you feel on midnight in Miami. Where you can push it to the limit.